So we bought a new tow pig, and by we I mean somebody got his midlife crisis truck, which is, as you can see, a OBS F350. But before we can actually even use it as a tow pig, it needed a new transmission. I have been assured that we got it for a really great price, which meant the brand new transmission that we got from Wise was worth it. I do trust Josh, so Josh said that we got a really great deal. And I will show you more of the truck later, but he's been working on this for, I don't know, are you like, what, 3 or 4 days in at this point?
Yeah.
And we're just about to stab in the new transmission. He can go over all of the other parts that he replaced once we kind of get to that point. But yeah, new tow pig, no problems.
You want to come over to the side real quick?
Yeah, because it's hot over here.
It's fine over here. I'm going to try to pick the back up.
Okay.
And if I can get this flange to clear the running boards, push the front of the transmission under.
Okay. You're going to need to maintain that so we can get through.
Yeah. There we go. This thing's all wonky.
There's like a strap thing on the front of that. Should you take that off?
When I get it on the jack, because I don't want the torque converter to move until we're ready to push it into the truck.
Making sure we don't forget.
Yeah, no, it's good.
We're gonna be awfully high by the time we get this on the jack.
Yep. This part I really don't like. Alright, so I'm gonna pick this up, just pull this jack completely out of the way. Ready? Yep. And now pull the transmission jack. Okay, I think that's...
Try that.
Yeah.
I think we're good up front.
So I'm gonna pick up on the transmission, level the jack out a little bit. Yeah, it had too much pressure on it.
That's as much as it'll go.
Alright, let's just kick these jacks out of the way. We should be safe.
We are not flat in the jack.
Yep. Well, I guess we're where we're going to be.
So that supreme level of sketchiness is what we had to do to get the original transmission out of the truck. Yeah, which is exactly as non-OSHA compliant as it looks, so.
Imagine nerve-wracking as hell.
I don't know. I was just going on with whatever he said, but apparently it was nerve-wracking.
maiden voyage with the new tow pig. Couple small issues. I think the twiddle was a little too small. We'll fix that when I get back, and then we'll swap out the overdrive. There's a small leak on that, which is annoying because it means I got to pull the crossmember back out. But this is what we picked up today. Very similar to what we're driving, but extended cab instead of a crew cab. Really good shape, actually fairly low mileage. Only has 120,000 miles on it. Really nice interior. Got a little more scuffs and bruises on the fenders, but it's really the only damage on the truck. I think he scrubbed both fenders just a little bit. But also a 7.3 Power Stroke. It's a 96 model. Really good shape though. So we're going to make our way back home after this. Talk to you in a bit.
Well, I thought I actually put this video out weeks ago, and apparently I didn't. So I guess a proper introduction to our 1997 Ford F350 dually. We've had this for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. Mike was around. He would remember when we bought it. And by we, I mean him. This is his midlife crisis mobile. He insisted that we have a tow pig, even though our Ram was doing just fine. But whatever. This has just about as cool of a story as our Scout does. So we bought this from a woman whose father bought it brand new. He worked at a dealership in Michigan somewhere, Dearborn maybe, I don't remember, and lusted after one of these for years, and he picked out everything he wanted on it.
Four-wheel drive.
Except for four-wheel. We don't need four-wheel drive if it's towing cars. We don't need four-wheel drive. You're not being helpful. Anyway, he bought it brand new, and he outfitted it with a whole bunch of stuff. I can have Mike go through that in a little bit if he wants to. But anyway, when her father got too old to drive it, she bought it from her dad. And she and her husband bought a fifth wheel, and they towed it all around the country. And it went to Alaska at least twice, I think she told us. Yeah. Towing a fifth wheel, towing her family around. This is their baby. They loved this truck. Unfortunately, her husband got sick. They sold the fifth wheel, and she realized it was time to let it go. We got it for a steal for what it is, because as you can see, it's in really good shape. I mean, it's not perfect. Like, there's a blemish right there. You know, there's little use marks all over it, but it is in impeccable condition. With the exception of the transmission, which you watched earlier in the video. The trans wasn't all that great. So we did get it cheaper than it probably is technically worth, purely because they admitted it needed a new transmission as well. So what we got off of it, we were able to put it into a new transmission. Really the only thing that's wrong with it is interior stuff, right?
Yeah, I got cushions for both seats from, was it Bronco Parts and More? I think CP Addict has them now in stock, which are actually from Bronco Parts and More, but it took forever to find cushions because the interior is the seat covers themselves are in pretty good shape, but the cushions are just worn out. Yeah, they're just worn out.
Yeah, you can tell that it was definitely well used.
Yeah. And then when we do that, I think I'm going to put carpet in it, which will clean up the interior quite a bit.
And a headliner. I mean, pretty much the entire interior needs to be refreshed, but it is, you know, almost 30 years old at this point. And it got used. It's not exactly low mileage, but it's a 7.3 liter that's been well taken care of. We have every shred of document on this truck, just like we do on the Scout. We have the window stickers. We have the dealership paperwork. We have every single
his
booklet.
Order tracking and all of his handwritten, like all the all the options he wanted on the truck. He hand wrote out like dealer cost versus retail and his cost, and he did a lot of work on this truck.
Well, we also have a booklet for every single thing that was put on this truck from the factory and after the factory. And we also have booklets on things that he didn't get around to putting on the truck.
Right. Stuff he was just interested in or looking at or thinking about. We've got brochures. So
So it was well
It's a
taken care of and well loved. Unfortunately, we don't have the stock tailgate. That probably was disappeared from the family years ago. Um, all of this stuff is going to come out of the bed. The spare tire we'll have to find a home for. Unfortunately, we're going to take that box out, even though it would be fantastic storage for racing, because we're going to go pick up our bed camper this weekend in the former Topeg. But it's going to actually function for both our off-road trips as well as our racing trips. So we're losing all of our bed storage, but we've been talking about modifying the rear seat, actually taking the rear seat out and putting in a bench just for storage. This isn't going to be a people hauler. This is going to be a us and
race cars.
race car hauler. So I don't know what kind of fun stuff did he put on it, because it's a 7.3 liter.
Yeah, it's a
two-wheel drive.
7.3, and these didn't come from the factory intercooled. And I think that was one of the first things he did was he put an ATS intercooler on it, and then he put complete gauges, which is kind of cool because it's got the.
Except you can't see them at night.
Yeah, you can't see them, but the little pod is, you can't even find those anymore. The dash pod for the
Which
3
means
gauges.
it's going to be a joy to change.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, the pod's in good shape, but the gauges I need to update because they're a little hard to see. They're faded. But he did complete gauges. He did the intercooler. He had a like a 6-position chip on it, and then they put a gear vendor's overdrive in it, which I'm still trying to figure out how all that works smoothly. But the biggest thing he did is he put twin onboard fuel tanks, oversized onboard fuel tanks. So the front tank is a replacement, which was 40 gallons, and the rear tank is 45 gallons. So this, or excuse me, the front's 45 and the rear is 45. So it has like 90 gallons of fuel on board when it's full.
Yeah, we pretty much can go to and from Las Vegas with a full load and not have to worry about fueling up. The headlights are going to get replaced because they suck. I don't know. There's, with the exception of the interior, I think we're kind of okay for now.
Mm-hmm.
And we hauled with it to West Phoenix for our SCCA event this weekend, and she did okay.
Did good. I think I'm pulling the trans temp from the wrong spot. So talking to a couple of buddies of mine, we're going to move that.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. That, and there were some wiring issues when I first put the trans in, which is kind of typical of these old OBS trucks. I got that sorted, but I'm kind of just hyper paranoid, I guess, with this truck.
It's not remotely annoying.
Yeah, just until it gets a trip without any issues, I just think I'm paranoid with it, but it's good. Truck tow's great. Typical old Ford things. We need to go through the steering linkage just like we did our camper when we were messing with that.
Yeah, I drove it to work a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, oh, well, this is sketchy as hell.
Yeah, got a little play in it, but I think when it's loaded up, it's not as bad, surprisingly. And then I found a Blue Ox weight distribution huge off Marketplace, which was a good score. So we'll adapt that to this truck, and that'll help. That'll help balance the load a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll pick up our camper this weekend, and we'll haul it around with the Ram and see how it does in the Ram and see if we need to make mods in the Ram. We've already talked about adding airbags to the back of this thing because she sags. And I don't know if she sags because she's got 30-year-old
Springs.
Leafs, or if she just needs a little bit of help with the amount of tongue weight that we're putting on it, because it was a fifth wheel hauler for most of its life.
Yeah, looking at Dan's truck, I think the springs are a little on the weak side. Yeah, because his set higher than mine. Mine carries more fuel, like 3 times the amount of fuel at the time, but
it's going to have a 2,100-pound camper in the back of it, plus 11,000 pounds of trailer and vehicle,
something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it can do it. It's what it's designed to do, but it's just we have to make sure that
make it better.
We're making it more comfortable for ourselves and better for the truck, so we don't hurt the truck. So yeah, that's it. That's this big old white whale that sits in my driveway now. Big old man truck.
Mm-hmm. With all the lights.
With all the lights. That surprisingly all of them work, even the little handbar lights. on the sides. But yeah. Thanks for watching for our brand new tow pig. Brand new tow pig. And
New to us.
New to us. Yeah, new to us. Fair enough. New to us. And hopefully it functions how we need it to function and I don't have to, you know, commit murder. So, yay. But racing season's just starting. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff coming up. We'll be continuing working on the Scout, which technically runs, but still
Runs
needs
better.
Still needs a little bit of
Yeah.
a little bit of love and smoothing out before it is
Well,
comfortable.
it had a bad map sensor, which was screwing up a lot of things, and then
The steering.
part of that's because it's all sitting way high in the back, and
It's
I need
still
to fix
sketchy.
the driveline angles in the rear because the way the drive shaft ended up being made, I need to angle up the rear U-joint.
I'll do a video on the Scout running probably after we get back from vacation. So it'll be a couple more weeks for you guys that are following us on the Scout. And sorry about that, but it's fall, even though it doesn't feel like it.
Really
I wanted to
does not
do
feel
this
like
video in the sun, but it's 110 degrees today in southern Arizona. So you're getting it in our shade port / junk pile. But yeah, again, thanks for following along, everybody. Stay tuned for more because there's always something going on. And we'll catch you next time.